They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my houses. Yes, you said, sir.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact of them here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in the world of mass shooters. That was designed 5 for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So that you said that they put millions of my houses. Yes, you said, sir.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right. That's right.
You see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom, we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
God, no sweat, no sweat. Shalom, shalom, everybody. Y'all can hear me?
Count out of cause, sir.
All right, Most High in Christ. Shalom, Israel. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua Barakatah. Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'ashem Yahushua. Priest and also Dalashah, but the ISUPK. Started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We've been teaching the truth since 1969. Right, today is the Tuesday night Brotherhood class. Every Tuesday, we broadcast live from Orlando, Florida. So give yourselves a hand. Everybody that's in, tuned in, locked in. Most High in Christ, man. Let's get it cracking. I got a few soldiers with me. Big up, Salakia. Big up, young man Fred, the young man Drew. You know what I mean? Holding it down. The water, y'all brothers hopping on. Sign Christ. Also, if anybody that's new in the school, if you're looking to get attendance for today's class, make sure you click on the link, fill out the information so that way you can get credit. All right. And anybody's also welcome to join the live. The link is posted in the YouTube chat. So if you want to join the live, get your questions answered, make a comment, whatever the case may be, the link is posted. You just click on the link and you'll be right in, all right? All right, shalom, everybody that's tuning in. How y'all feeling? How's everything, y'all? Talk to me. Y'all there? Nobody there? Is anybody there? Y'all can hear me? Nah.
Count out of con, sir.
Okay, Most High in Christ, man. How y'all feeling? Everything good with y'all?
Everything's great, sir.
Everything good? That's good to hear.
Good.
Most High in Christ, man. All right, the water, everybody in the chat hopping on. Let me know in the comments how y'all feeling. You know what I'm saying? Big up for the priest and officer Kazak Amar. Yeah, right. Also, y'all what's up? Love T, Shalom, sis. Let me know how y'all feeling, man. How's y'all day going? Everything good with y'all? Any issues? Any questions? You know what I mean?
Let's see.
Alright. Alright, I guess we got a tired and quiet crowd today, but it's fine. It's fine. We'll get straight into it. Officer Kanak will be on shortly. Just rocking it out until he gets in. All right, damn right. Finally got a response. Lauti said it's all good in the hood. Most High Christ. Feeling to wow. I'm glad to hear that, sis. Glad to hear that. It's Jacksonville. Inkville, though. That's Duval. Okay. What's up? What's up? All right. I'm glad y'all doing okay. I'm glad y'all doing fine. Most High in Christ are able to tune in and get some studying in, get some learning in with these scriptures. All right. So for today's class, got a few topics I want to touch on. The first one is does God give us free will? All right. I don't know if you ever heard about that before or ever had a conversation with somebody about that. If you have, feel free to chime in on your viewpoint on it or what people have told you about it, right? As far as free will, right? God giving us free will. So what we're going to do, we're going to dive into the Bible to see if that's actually true. All right. Most people think that, first of all, I'll say that people use the free will argument as an excuse to be able to do whatever the hell they want to do, right? Neglecting the way of the Most High, neglecting the laws of God, and doing whatever is pleasing to them, right? So they'll come up with the argument that, hey, God gave us free will. He gave you free will. You can do what you want to do. He knows your heart. And it's all about a what they call it, an individual connection, a spiritual connection with God. Like you got to have like a separate personal, that's what it is, personal relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a personal relationship. I guess they got them on their hotline. And they can just dial them up whenever they want to, and you'll forgive them what they said. All right, but the Bible is real consistent. All right, that's the misconception that most people have. When you read the old, is no different from the new. When you read the new, is no different from the old. And I'm talking about the testaments, right? The old and the new is consistent. They flow perfectly together, right? And the Lord did not do away with the laws. The laws are not done away with. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give us the free range to do whatever our heart desires. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is not your personal genie. He is a father and he has rules that he commanded us to obey. All right, so let's get Deuteronomy 30 and 19.
Con out of con.
Oh, give me 1 second. All right. You got that word?
Con out of con.
All right, so you can go ahead and read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19.
Mm-hmm.
I call heaven and earth to record this day against
Mm-hmm.
you that I have set before you life and death.
That he did
Bless
what?
that I have set before you life and death.
All right. This is the option that the Lord has set before us. Life and death. Right? You got to understand with everything that you do on this earth, there is a consequence behind it. For every action, there's a reaction. Now, if it's up to somebody to only fulfill the things that they find pleasure in, right? Regardless if it's detrimental to their well-being, most people want to do it forever. You get what I'm saying? All right, you can't ask a crackhead, whether or not he expect to die in smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? If somebody find pleasure in something that even, that's detrimental to their well-being or it's a sin against God, right? Because of this pleasure or because it's pleasing to them, right? Their expectation of it is to do it forever until they're 80 or 90 years old. You know what I'm saying? But the Bible teaches that whatever you do, there is consequences behind it. right? And what Moses commanded us as the children of Israel, because this is who he's directly speaking to the children of Israel, which is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people. And he's letting us know that we have the only one choice to make, and that is to choose life, right? Everything else will lead you to death. Now, what does it mean to choose life? What is that life talking about, right? Let's hold that real quick. Let's get Baruch 4:1. Baruch 4:1 in the Apocrypha.
Let's see.
Yes, sir. I don't know. Fred, you on here, Fred? I don't know if you can hear me.
Con, sir.
Okay. Yeah. If you're able to grab it while Drew is holding Deuteronomy,
Con,
if you're
sir. I
able.
got you. Con.
All right. All right. The what? Baruch 4:1. Shalom to everybody that's just hopping in. We just got started. Topic is right now is did the Lord give us free will? Did God give us free will? All right. Whenever you got that, you can go ahead and read.
This is Baruch 4:1.
Mm-hmm.
This is the book of the commandments of God, and the
Mm-hmm.
law that endureth forever.
Right.
All they that keep it shall come to life.
All they that do what?
They that keep it shall come to life.
Right. Those that keep the commandments of God is what God considers to be alive. Right? That's what it means when Moses says, choose you this day, life or death. Either choose to serve God or serve your own flesh or your own wants or serve these other nations. All right? You're not really alive or living unless you're serving God. Right? Because his commandments consist of life. Everything about it. It's the manual to live and how to have longevity in life. Everything outside of that will lead to death. God said, don't eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster. Right? And when we indulge in these type of dishes, we're the leading ones in high blood pressure, heart disease. Right? The Lord said, don't live an alternative lifestyle. And then when we participate in these sexual lifestyles, right, we're number one in AIDS and STDs. You know what I mean? Because the Lord gave us the manual to life. Every law and commandment that you read of in the old and in the new, regardless where is it at, you know what I'm saying, is giving you the manuscript on how to live on this earth. Right? So let's go back to Deuteronomy. Right? So he said, keep the commandments or die. Right? You can start me from the top in Deuteronomy.
The top of 19, sir.
Please, top of 19.
Kind of want to count. Verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
Right. So if life is keeping the commandments, then what is death? Right.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Not keeping the commandments and disobeying God.
Right. Right. It's breaking the commandments, which is sin. Right. That's what sin is. You know what I'm saying? Let's get Romans 6:23 real quick.
Another one. Ready when you are, sir.
I'm ready. You got it, Roy.
The book of Romans, chapter 6, verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
For the wages of sin is death.
Is what?
Is death.
Right. The Bible teaches that sin is the transgression of the law, which is the breaking of God's commandments. And all sin leads to death. So the Lord is saying either you do what I tell you to do, or you're going to die. The Lord did not create us to have free will. He didn't create us to have the option to disobey God and do what we want to do without any consequences. If it was up to free will, there will be no consequences to what we do. We'll just be free to do whatever we want because it makes us happy, right? But the fact that there is consequences behind it should teach you what? That free will does not exist. All right, jump back to Deuteronomy.
What was Salaki, sir? What was the chapter and verse again?
30 and 19. All right, I just wanted to point out to show you what the life and death was talking about. You know what I mean? Like everything that we read in Deuteronomy 28, which comes a little bit prior to this chapter, tells you all the curses and the punishments that the Lord will place on us if we didn't keep his commandments. All right, if we had the free will to do whatever we want, there would have been no punishments listed in Deuteronomy 28. All right, read on. If you got that Deuteronomy 30 and 19.
Salaki, so the rest of the verse?
All
right. That I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
Therefore, what?
Choose life.
Read on.
That both thou and thy seed may live.
That both thou and thy seed do what?
May live.
That they may live. And what is considered living according to God? Where does life come from?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Following his commandments.
Following his commandments. Your life expectation is to obey God. Nothing else. You was created and formed on this earth to be obedient to him. Not to deviate from that. Not to do your own will and do what pleases you. But to please the Most High and do his will. To keep all his commandments on what to eat, what to wear, what to celebrate, what God to serve. All of these things matter to God. And as a father, if you break them, he will punish you for it. You know what I mean? It's like anybody. If you're a parent, you should understand this. You got kids, minors that live in your household. All right? And protecting him and protecting them, you will set rules in your household. And if they break it, you will do what? Right? If your kids were to break your rules in your household, what would you do?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Basically, discipline them, punish them.
Right. Discipline them, punish them, right? And what is the purpose behind that? What's the reason?
Salakia, sir. Because it teaches them to be obedient to what you're telling them.
Right, which is true. All right. For correction, right? I like that answer more spot on, you know what I'm saying? But yes, obedient, but most importantly, you're doing it to correct their behavior. right? You're trying to turn them away from doing the wrong thing and start doing what's good. You understand what I'm saying?
Con.
And if you out here thinking you can eat all the pork you want, you know what I'm saying? God is gonna let you know that you're doing the wrong thing. When he sends the high blood pressure and all the disease and the bodily ailments that people suffer through. All right, when you're doing something against his laws, keeping these wicked holidays, they just had what? St. Patrick's Day just passed. You know what I mean? We was out there this weekend in downtown Orlando, nothing but Negroes and green. You know what I mean? And listen, at the same time, I don't blame our people. You know what I mean? Because we done lost our identity. We don't even know who we are. So we go out and try to mimic whatever these other nations are doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, if you're in this live today and you read this Bible and you believe in God, as God's chosen people, we are prohibited to follow the ways and the customs of these other nations. God did not give us the permission to go out and celebrate St. Patrick's Day. All right? And he'll let you know by correcting you. When things happen that night that you didn't plan to happen, that wasn't supposed to happen, you got too drunk and something calamity fell and whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? It's God warning to let you know, you know what I mean, you're on the wrong path. You don't have the free will to do it just because you decide to do it. That's not how life works. Whatever you do, there are consequences behind it. Right? Let me get Wisdom of Solomon. What I want? Wisdom of Solomon 2:23. Bakasha.
Con, sir.
All right. Whenever you got that, you can go ahead and read.
For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
God, can you read from the top one more time? I don't know if my I guess my feed is acting up. Can you say the verse one more time again?
This is the Wisdom of Solomon 2:23.
Mm-hmm.
For God created man to be immortal.
To be what?
Immortal.
To be
And
immortal, right? What does that
con,
mean? What
sir.
does immortal mean? All right, we're talking about the creation of man. When he created us as human beings and chose us, right? He created us to be immortal. What does that mean? Just give me the basic definition of the word, and then we'll break down the spirit behind it.
Salakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically meaning you live forever. Like you
You
don't
live
die.
forever. Right. You live forever. Right? When God created us, right, he created us to live forever. Right? Like y'all putting in the chat as well too. To never die. Everlasting life. See, you on the spirit of it. You know what I mean? We're gonna get to that. You know what I mean? Yeah, all that. You know what I'm saying? When God created us, he created us to live. Now, what does it mean to live according to God?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
To keep and obey the commandments.
Obey his commandments, to keep the laws. When he created us to keep the laws of God, to keep his laws. That was his intended purpose from the beginning. When he created Adam and Eve, he gave them basic instructions on what not to do. He said, do not eat from this tree, you know what I'm saying, of good and evil. That was a commandment. And they end up breaking God's commandment and got punished for it. But what the Lord created us to have in us is to have everlasting life by keeping his commandments. Meaning your seed after your seed and go on in generations is going to be living good on earth, going to be in dominance and rulership. You know what I'm saying? That's what was given to Adam since the beginning. When he formed us to keep his commandments. He don't take no pleasure in us dying over drug overdose. God did not form us to live a life like that, man. To die over stress and trauma, to be living plagued with poverty, to be plagued with all type of illnesses. God created this earth to be a paradise, and he made man to be perfect in order to sustain the earth. But things are messed up now because we're not living in the ways of the Lord. Right? Read that from the top one more time.
Con, sir.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon 2:23. For God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Mm-hmm. Right. This is what the Lord created man to do. What it means to say, what does that mean when it says to be in the image of the, what was it, eternal being?
Salakia, sir. For
Go
God
ahead.
created man to be immortal and
Mm-hmm.
made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Right. To be an image. Right? What does that mean? Image of his eternity. What does that mean?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
A representation.
Right. Not a physical image, right? Though God is black, right? And he created us as his chosen people, which are blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, right? But this is more so talking about your behavior and how you act on this earth. God gave us these commandments because he don't partake in those things as well too. He's perfect. And the meaning behind perfection is fulfilling all the laws of God. And it's possible to do. Like I said, most people who say those statements like free will, we have free will from God and all that stuff, they just use that for an excuse to not keep God's commandments. As if it's something hard to do. It's not burden. It's not a burden. Right? When he naturally created you to be that way. Right? He naturally created us to be that way. Right? Read on.
Con, sir. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
Through what?
Through envy of the devil came death into the world.
Right. What is this talking about? We want to give it a shot. Through envy of the devil, death came to the world. Remember the story with Adam? Go ahead.
Yeah, Salakia, sir. I was gonna say, basically, envying the ways of the people who oppress us, basically, and us turning against the laws is what started bringing all the death and things into the world.
All right, get that brother ahead. Get that brother ahead. You know what I'm saying? Envy of the devil, envy of these other nations, the people that don't represent God. Right? Eve was deceived in thinking that if she ate of the tree of good and evil, that she would be what? A god on this earth. Right? Listening to the lies and the philosophy of the people that was round about her. All right? And they started taking on their customs. That's why I said that they covered themselves with leaves. They started taking on the customs of the people that was around them during that time. You know what I mean? And the Lord called us to be holy. Right? Y'all know what the word holy means?
Con, sir.
Go ahead. What does it mean?
Set apart.
Damn right. That's exactly what it means. It means to be separate. But once we start to envy them, meaning wanting what they have, and start following their ways, want to wear green like they wear green, want to go out and hang out at the bar and drink all the beer like they do on St. Patrick's Day, right? Want to celebrate Christmas, want to celebrate their religions, Christianity, Islam, right? Once we start to follow them, right, this is how we're being led to the slaughter, being led to death, to our own death and destruction. You know what I'm saying? Because God did not give you free will to break his commandments. We just read how he said he created you to live forever. And how could you do that when you're doing the only things that pleases you and nothing else? God didn't create you for that. He didn't create you to live in your own utopia. He expects you to be obedient to him on what to do and what not to do. There is no personal relationship with God. Anybody telling you that is full of crap. They only have a personal relationship with their ego. That's it. God has rules. That's it. Follow them, you're rewarded. You break them, you get punished. And that's that, right? Let's drop that. Let me get the most famous one. Let me get John 3:16. Everlasting life.
Con or con.
All right. Go ahead.
Con, you ready, sir?
Come, I'm ready to work.
It's the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16. For God so loved the world
Mm-hmm.
that he gave his only begotten Son, that
Mm-hmm.
whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life.
But have what?
Everlasting life.
All right. Isn't that what immortality is? All right. Now, what does it mean to believe in the Most High? What does that mean? Anybody?
Con or con. Oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
like it, sir.
Mm-hmm.
To obey the Most High.
Right. To keep his commandments. This is how you get everlasting life. All right. Your belief is shown through your actions. Right? Don't the scriptures say faith without works is what?
Dead.
It's dead. All right? If you believe in God, your actions will show it. And the actions that's required to be shown is you keeping his commandments. On eating the right things, wearing the right things, celebrating the right things, everything that God said to do in this Bible. There is no other option out there for you because everything else was only going to lead you to death. Now, that don't sound like free will, doesn't it? Man, don't
Sir.
not to me it don't, at least. I mean, that do not sound like free will. All right, so there's nowhere in the Bible you will ever find where the Lord said he gave you free will. Never. I don't even think the word is in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this comes out of the philosophy of mankind through religion. You know what I'm saying? All religion is man-made. Every religion is man-made. And what they did is took the words that's written of in this book and perverted it to make it in a way to only please themselves. That's it. That's all religion is about. It's not about pleasing God. It's not about doing what he tells you to do or being obedient to him. It's only about pleasing yourself. All right? And this is the reason why we die. Right? Can I get Ezekiel 33 and 11, if I'm not mistaken?
Concert.
Whenever you got it.
This is the book of Ezekiel 33 and 11. Say unto them, as I live, saith the Lord God, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked.
He has what?
No pleasure in the death of the wicked.
Like, why would in the first place? Like, it just makes that concept just makes no sense. Your whole life purpose and existence is for you to obey God. He has no tolerance for you to die. That's not what he's not. That's not your life expectancy. That's not what he created you to do. He created this nation, formed them as a nation, brought them out of Egypt, gave them his laws, gave them structure, gave them commandments. So what? They can just die off when they get to the promised land? All right? Even Moses made that statement to the Most High. Like, listen, if you kill us here in the wilderness, man, these other nations round about us are going to say, man, the Lord only freed them just to murder them in the wilderness. That's not what, it don't make sense. That's not what God created you for. He created us to live. But living in sin is not, or only doing your pleasures is not living, man. It's not living. Doing your own will is not living. Thinking you have free will is not living. He gave you the commandments so you can live, right? Read that one more time.
Concert. As I live, saith the Lord, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked, Salakia,
Now read on.
but that the wicked turn from his way and live.
And do what?
And live.
And live. This is what it's all about. All right. And now that some of us didn't realize this, I know for sure myself, I didn't realize this. I grew up a Christian. They always told me that we have free will, that I have free will, and God knows my heart, and you got to build a personal relationship with God. You know what I mean? Now, coming into the truth, we are to do what? What's the word I'm looking for? Maybe you was taught wrong. Maybe you was misinformed. Now that we coming back to the truth, what must we do? Anybody? I want to give it a shot.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
Follow the commandments.
Keep the commandments, right? Repent and keep the commandments, right? Keep the commandments, right? Sis said live. That's a good answer as well because they both one and the same. Life equals God's commandments or God's laws. That's it. There's no in between. We can't make up our own concept because of the things that we find fun on earth. God did not center the universe around one single person or only you. All right. is bigger than us, and we're not bigger than the program. The Lord already set the foundation from the beginning, since Adam, before any one of us was born. He already set the foundation. And he set it to where we are to keep his commandments no matter what. He created man to be immortal. Like, imagine that. Right, sis said his words, right, which is his commandments, right? That's a good answer as well, too. I'll take that, right? But imagine that. Imagine a world where you never, ever knew how it felt like to see your people struggle with drugs. Imagine that. Like, these things we become desensitized to these things now. But imagine living in a world where you never even knew what it was or even knew what it felt like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the world that the Lord created for us. Because once we do get involved in these things, we start to die. You know what I'm saying? These things kill us. Regardless of how lifted it makes you feel or how great it makes you feel inside, you're slowly dying. But if it was up to you, or if it was up to the user, right, they would want to live forever. If they had the willpower to continue to indulge in whatever sin they indulge in until they live a long and old age, most people will do it. You get what I'm saying? Because that's what's leading you to your death. But now that we come to the truth, we got to repent. We got to repent and come back to his laws. Come back to his word, right? Come back and live, right? This is what we're supposed to be doing on this earth. This is what he intended us to do from the beginning, right? Drop that. Let me get Ezekiel 18 and 32.
Con or con.
You got that word.
Con or con. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
For I have no pleasure in the death of him that dieth, saith the Lord God.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore, turn yourselves and live ye.
Right. Turn yourself. You turn away from whatever the world has fed you to believe that it is okay to do. Turn from that. So that way we can start living. We can really start producing something on this earth, creating a society that's more better or beneficial for us. You know what I'm saying? Building this nation. Now, he has no pleasure in us being destroyed and oppressed and on the bottom as a people. Like, we don't even have an identity to fall back on. Like, that's how destroyed we are as a people. Every 10 years or 5 years or so, black people coming up with a new identity. Now we Sulam. That's the new one. I don't know if you ever heard that. Sulamese or Sudanese. I don't know what the hell that is. Right? They got FBA now. You know what I mean? First you was a Negro, black, colored, African American, right? Now you Sulamese, Solanese, I don't know. Whatever the case may be. You know what I mean? Like, that is what's killing us off as a nation. The words of God, the word that's written up in this book is the only thing that can save us. Man, we done tried everything on this earth, and none of it has worked for us. It's best to focus in, clean up, repent, so that way our generations after us can live. All right. All right, let's drop that. Or anything y'all brothers want to add, man, feel free to do so, you know.
Kind of,
Go ahead.
oh, it's my fault. So I
Oh,
get that. I ain't had nothing
oh, okay.
so far, but I'm gonna chime in.
No sweat. Big Drew said, we literally have become you people. My bad. I don't know if I probably read that wrong. You people, right? I mean, I could just sharpen it up a little bit of what you was writing, Big Drew. I'm a little bit confused on that one, but I know as a people, man, we definitely are lost. You know what I'm saying? And we're dying daily. We're dying every day by the hundreds of thousands, millions. You know, there's about 500,000 black babies being aborted, black and Hispanic babies being aborted each year. 500,000. When the Lord said, "Thou shalt not kill," it's a commandment. Thou shalt not kill. You know what I'm saying? That's when the Lord gave us these commandments so we can live. All right. Sister said, as in no identity at all. Oh, Khan. He said, Khan, sir, they call us you people now. Right. Yeah. You know, that's all they have left for us. You know, you was black 1 minute ago, the next minute you was a Negro, then the next minute you was colored, then now you're African American, and then that went away, and now Sulan, or now you're just you people. They running out of ideas. They don't know what to call it. You know what I'm saying? It's saddening, man. It's crazy to think that this is the norm for us. Like we just got so comfortable with the idea, like that we're just here to, you know, live by their means and by their rules. Like when there's far much greater than that. If we can imagine, we can see it. There's far much greater for us. I mean, let alone the bare minimums. You know what I mean? Like the things that we asking for here in the ISUPK is damn near the basic necessities for these other nations. It's like common practice to them to have a government, to have a military. Like me and Fred was talking about the other day, right? To have cargo ships being docked off of your shores and shipped to another country. That's just practicality to these other nations. They don't even bat an eye to it because it's just normal to them. But even the bare minimum, we don't even know how that feels like. We don't know how it feels like to have a military, to have a government, right? To have something that you own and produce on this earth without no reliance on another nation. All right? That should tell you something, that whatever we're doing is not working for us. We're not living, we're dying. You know what I'm saying? And religion is the greatest culprit for that, man. You don't have free will. It's all a lie. All right? Bubbity. Where do I want to go through next? Let me get what do I want? Let's get Luke 9 and 51.
Con.
Alright, 1 second, let me get there.
Salaki, so you say Luke 9:51.
Yeah, is that what I want? Give me 1 second. Yeah, start me at verse 55. No, verse 51. Verse 51 is good. 9 and 51.
Kanado is the book of Luke, chapter 9, verse 51. And it came to pass when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfastly set his face to go to Jerusalem.
All right, this is Christ when he was on his mission teaching on the earth. All right, his next mission was to go to Jerusalem and teach over there. Right, read on.
And sent messengers before his face, and they went and entered into a village of the Samaritans to make ready for him.
Right, and so what he'll do as he's traveling, he'll send his disciples to go before, right, so they can get things prepared, meaning they go out there and teach about Christ or teach his teachings. You know what I'm saying? They go out there and tell the people to repent, keep the commandments of the Most High. You are the Israelites. You're not Gentiles. You know what I'm saying? Or you're Gentiles. Now you have to come back to your identity. Right? This is what they was teaching his disciples. Right? Read on.
And they did not receive him, because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem.
Right? Because the prophecy was that that's the place that where he was going to be crucified and judged by the Pharisees. But before that, prior to that, he'll stop by different cities while he's traveling, you know what I mean, to get the gospel out, the word out, that we are God's chosen people. Right? Read on.
And when his disciples, James and John, saw this, they said, Lord, wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elias did?
Right. So he's like, man, because they didn't listen to you, man, you should burn them up. You should pray for that fire come down and burn all of them up. All right, this is what his disciples are saying. All right, read on.
But he turned and rebuked them and said, Ye know not what manner of spirit ye are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them.
But to do what?
But to save them.
Right, like we just read in Ezekiel. Right? Christ's mission was to save the lives of blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people, or so-called blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people. Right? Because we are God's chosen people. All right? And as long as we've been here, our life expectancy has been cut short. We live day in and day out from the time we first got here, even till now, been living nothing but a life that revolves around death, that revolves around pain and suffering and trauma. All right? This is what we get for being in America. This is the byproduct of being a slave in America, a black man in America, Hispanic man in America, Native Indian man. Right? Nothing has been beneficial for us in this country, or never will it ever be. All right? The Lord is saying that as long as we serve the Most High, guess what? We'll live. And living is like what is written of in Deuteronomy, the blessings. All right, let me get Deuteronomy 7 and 6 real quick. Let me get there real quick. Right, we would have been in a far better position He's given all the rewards that the Lord promises. But because we broke that, this is the byproduct of it. You know what I'm saying? Where our people are left to die in the streets of America. Right? Dead bodies of young black boys laying in the streets for 20 minutes. Like that one brother, Michael Brown. You know what I'm saying? Brothers like George Floyd, bodies laying in the ground being choked out for 9 minutes. That's death, man. The punishments and the curses is death. But us serving Christ, this is our reward. Right? You got that for me, Warrior?
Con, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Right. This is talking about so-called blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people, the children of Israel. Read on.
Above all people that
To
are
be
upon
my fault to cut you off. If you can read that part one more time, to be what?
above all people
Mm-hmm.
that are upon the face of the earth.
Guess what? Christ did not come to save everybody.
Oh, Slack.
Because not everybody was in a state of death while he was walking the earth. The Romans was in rulership, oppressing the Jews. What they needed salvation from. Everything they had came from the slaughter of God's chosen people, enslaving God's chosen people. And they was living off of it. Right? And if you fast forward to today, it's no different. These oppressors are able to live off of the bones of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They work you until your flesh falls off of your bones. They working you to death. And they feel no way or nothing about the plight that you go through. No matter what, you can plead and beg, he still expects you to go out there and make him some money. You know what I mean? But Christ came to give us an alternative. Not free will. That's not what Christ came to give us. He came to give us a personal relationship with God. He came to give us rulership. Because that's what life is all about. That's what these other nations is competing on this earth for. To rule. And Christ said, right, that he came to give life. You know what I'm saying? If we keep the commandments, like we read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, right? Life is us ruling over everybody on this earth. Now, that's amazing. I would much rather have that than some free will nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Give me rulership any day.
Con or con.
You know what I'm saying? A world where I ain't got to answer to an oppressor. You know what I'm saying? And anything your brothers want to add, feel free to do so.
Oh yeah, Salakia, sir, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Get down.
Also, it's a lot of us, because we don't know who we are, and the laws that God kept, the laws that God left us so that we may live and not die. A lot of us are just out here just freely, like you said, with the free will thing, just thinking we can freely just live any kind of life we want, and thinking that no consequences is coming out of it. But the Lord is Lord is killing a lot of us in ways that we don't expect. Like with the people that eat pork, the shrimp, the crab, and lobster, and how they coming up with all these health issues, and they don't know why. It's because they're not obeying the laws of God.
Right. Damn right, brother. Damn right. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's probably been popular, right? But everybody craving seafood boils now. It's a new dinery craze. Everybody wants seafood boils. You know what I'm saying? When not knowing you're eating to your death. Right? Because the Lord commanded us not to live that lifestyle. These other nations, they live like that. They eat whatever they can find. Chinese man eat cat and dog. White man eat his steaks rare. You know what I'm saying? They eat however they want to eat. You know what I mean? But the Lord commanded us not to live like them.
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
It's even like what you said, that was very important last Saturday. How eating pork is not only detrimental to the body, or Salakia, not pork, but shrimp and lobster and crab is not only detrimental to the body, but to the earth as well. As you were saying, it was the garbage cans of the earth. And if you eating it, what's gonna help the earth, cleanse itself?
God,
Right.
damn right.
Damn right.
Damn right. Yeah, you're exactly right. Like, that they live a life of no regards of consequences. Right? It's kind of it's the same. Well, it's not kind of. It is the exact same spirit of Esau, right? Because this is who they descend from. And think about it. Esau, he was only focused in the moment. That's it. Just focus on the moment. And during that moment, the only thing he can think of is how hungry he was. The hell with his birthright. You know what I'm saying? The hell with whatever his father promised him. He didn't care about none of that. All he cared about what he can get right now. And if you fast forward to today, that's the same spirit that Esau still has on him to this day. He don't care about the holes in the ozone layer. He don't care about messing up the ecosystem. He don't care about the filth and the trash in the streets. You know what I mean? Like, he don't care about none of that. All he cares about what he can get to satisfy himself right now at this moment. You know what I mean? And the Lord commanded us not to be that way. Let me get Hebrews 12:6.
Con out or con.
Let me get some of these comments. Big Drew says Salaki sir is Salaki is accurate. Say that the spirit they were in was an unbrotherly spirit. Khan, you talk about when the disciples said to bring fire down and destroy them. Khan, you know what I mean? Christ had to correct them, right? That's what the word rebuke means. It means to correct somebody. And Christ being the outer one, being in the leaders, right? Being the head, to teach us to how to serve the Most High, right? He corrected those brothers because that's what love really is, to let them know that they was not in the right spirit. You know what I mean? The spirit that they should be in is to save God's people. And I mentioned this last week, right? In order to save black people, you have to love black people. There's no other way around it. You know what I mean? If you don't love the way black people walk, talk, dance, play music, you know what I'm saying, dress, if you don't like anything about black people, there is no possible way you're sincerely trying to save them. And when I mean black, I'm talking about all the tribes, Hispanics and Native Indians as well, too. You have to love them. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Christ came to give us. Learning to how to love our people. You think these politicians and these pastors love you? They don't. They can't stand Negroes. They hate the fact that your hair is braided, you wear baggy clothes, you got a hoodie on in the summertime. They hate that. They hate your blackness. That's why when every time something goes wrong, guess who they blame? See, you Negroes don't know how to get it right. Let that be a lesson to learn for y'all. Whenever you hear a black person say, well, black people just don't know how to get it right, or find some excuse to blame black people, the spirit behind it is they really hate black people. That's what it is. Whenever you find that, I'm telling you, they really hate black people. Now, of course, we have internal issues that we have to fix as a people. Yes. You know what I mean? But oftentimes when people bring up our own individual issues, they never first mention what the oppressor did unto us. Because they both go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to take account to what he did. Right? We turn a blind eye to him, and we hyper focus on each other. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what that sister did at camp, right? When that devil give these brothers a head, man. You know what I'm saying? These brothers be ward at camp, right? We was out there at camp this Saturday, and some Irish oppressor on St. Patrick's Day, shout out to Austin Thurman Young, you know what I'm saying, went and felt sorry for us, felt sorry for the slaves for what America did to us. And we didn't force him, but he willingly bowed down and kissed our feet, kissed our boots, right? And in the midst of all of that, a group of black people walked by and said, and whispered to him, man, you ain't got to do this. You ain't got to do that. Don't listen to them. Just walk away. You know what I mean? Like, this is the, like, we'll have that for the oppressor. You know what I mean? But we don't have that same love for each other.
Con.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have that for you. We blame each other like it's our fault. It ain't your fault, black man. You know what I'm saying? But it is our responsibility to fix it. And the way we do it is through brotherhood. You know what I mean? Loving our brother as thyself, man. Big Drew says, Salaki said, if I may, with all grace, a personal relationship with God is basically a relationship with your own self. Damn right, man. That's a wise statement, warrior. You know what I mean? That's all it is. You know what I mean? And I mentioned it in a few classes ago that Christianity is just an egocentric religion. Every religion is egocentric. It centers around your ego. That's all it is. It makes you the main focus, you the main character, and everything should be rewarding to you and a blessing to you, and everything else is bad energy or bad aura. I don't know, whatever bull crap people be coming up with. You know what I'm saying? Not everything revolves around you, but religion teaches you that. They think God is your genie. They can do whatever they want and just talk to God by themselves, and God forgives them. God do not forgive you. He sees what you're doing, and he's upset. And this is why we die. Right? To change that, we have to forget the idea of free will or having a personal relationship and start being obedient. Humble yourself and obey. Right? Let me get some more. Love T said, right now, you're the garbage can fast. Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, we eating that pork, not knowing we eating filth and garbage. And you wonder why we die. You know what I'm saying? The Lord commanded us not to do these things, right? Big Drew says, Salaki, sir, I'm on a laptop. These buttons hella small. Nah, it's all good. I'm trying my best. It's all good, man. The water for hopping on, man. Love T said, we've been taught to hate ourselves and each other. Yeah, man. You know, self-hatred is prevalent. Somebody said, Salaki? Yeah, man. Self-hate is prevalent, man. And it's all due to psychological warfare. You know what I mean? Like, the oppressor understood not only how to break down the body, but he tried ways to figure out to break down the mind of his slaves. Why do you think that he used to beat the slaves in front of the whole plantation? What do you think is the purpose of that? Anybody?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
So that it puts in the mind of the other slaves, not to go against their master, or this is what happened to them.
Exactly right, brother. You know what I'm saying? That it broke them down mentally. It broke them down mentally. So they can see and be like, whoa, this is what's gonna happen to us if we ever try to escape the plantation, if we ever try to fight against master. You know what I'm saying? Like the sister said as well, to instill fear. To keep that thought of fear in your mind. So they will get the strongest slave, bring the whole plantation out, stop them from working, and tie the strong slave onto a stand or a stick, right, and just start beating them violently in front of everybody to teach everybody a lesson, a mental lesson, even though they didn't get beat, right? You know what I'm saying? But what they're witnessing is breaking their mind down, right? And we carried that same mindset till this day. Till this day. And this is why we have self-hatred and hatred for each other. You know what I mean? The mentality of our people has been destroyed. We think we got free will to do what we want and build a personal relationships, and we're Christian and race don't matter. All of that is psychological warfare. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that topic, unless there's any questions, anything else. All right. So let's get the next topic, which is what I put. What happens when God's people? I forgot even the title I put. What happens when God people unify? That's what I put. What happens when God's people unify?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
You had me grab Hebrews 12 and 10 real quick.
Oh yeah, let's get that. 12. Was it 12 and 10 or 12 and 6?
I believe it was 10, but you can correct me on that if I was wrong.
Okay, let me just jump there real quick. My bad. Let me get 12 and 16. Matter of fact, my bad.
16.
God.
Khan Ottawa Khan. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
Right, for one morsel of meat, sold his entire right to rule this earth. He gave it up for a piece of meat. Imagine that. And that's the person that's ruling the earth right now. You get what I'm saying? That's the reason why the ecosystem is messed up. It's why the reason why the ozone layer is messed up. It's why the whole planet Earth is messed up. It's why there's famines all over the place. The weather patterns changing. Because this man is messing it all up for his own gain, his own pleasure, and not worrying about the effects of what he does. And this is who Esau is spiritually. The Lord said, don't be like a person. Don't only focus on the moment of what you want right then and there. Think about the long-term effects of your decisions. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to lead you down the road of death. All right? Think about long-term. You may want it right now, but if you resist it, all right, 10 minutes later, an hour later, 30 minutes later, whatever the case may be, if you resist it, you'll realize how unimportant it is. That you don't even really need it. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes our flesh be so strong. Instead of fighting against it, we just go along with it. You know what I mean? And you're just leading yourself to death. Right? Read on.
For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected.
He was what?
He was rejected.
Guess what? Esau, there is no salvation for Esau. And this is in the Bible. You know what I mean? We ain't making this up. Brother just read, he was rejected of being blessed. He had it in his hands. Had the opportunity, he blew it. Over food that was even cooked all the way. You know what I'm saying? Since the pot was red. You know what I'm saying? And this is the man that we look up to in America. So before we start first pointing a finger at each other, we have to acknowledge him as well too. Because this is where we learn our behavior from. Right? Read on.
For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Yeah, there is no place of repentance for you devils. None. You know what I'm saying? None. You know what I mean? This is who the white man descends from, Esau. Right? And once we start to follow them, is when we become destroyed. Right? Let's drop that. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12. Baba Kashar. And then we'll go to the next topic. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12. You can start me at verse 1.
Salaki, sir. What verse did you say?
Verse 1. Verse 1 is what?
Okay, this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and 1. For thine incorruptible spirit is in all things.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore chastiseneth thou them by little and little that offend.
That he does what?
Therefore chastisen thou them by little and little that offend.
That offend, right? Read on.
And warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended.
Wherein they have done what?
Offended.
So what is this saying here? Offense is what? What is the offense talking about? Anybody want to give it a shot? Offense is what?
Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
Like he wanna like to go against the grain, like against the law, something like that.
Yeah, exactly right, boy. You know what I mean? Like the sister said as well too, to break the laws, right? What the Lord does, He will chastise you little by little, in order for you to realize within yourself, maybe I'm messing up, fucking up. I gotta start doing better now. You know what I mean? Because what you're doing slowly but surely is being led to your own death, to your own demise. You know what I'm saying? So what he's trying to do is give each and every one of us an opportunity to escape death. Right now, the truth is that opportunity. You know what I'm saying? The ICPK is that opportunity, man. Because I don't know about y'all. I've been hearing some things of what they got going on out there. You know what I mean? I haven't stepped out in a minute. You know what I'm saying? But you best believe, man, the word has been circulating of what's been going on out there. You know what I'm saying? And you might want to be skeptical. You might want to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a position to fall. And I don't know about y'all, but I can guarantee that this place was established to make sure that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians don't fall into death. Don't get led to the slaughter. All right? So little by little, like a father will do, he chastises us. All right? Don't let it be too late. Is there any more on that?
Oh, sir.
Read on. You got it, soldier.
Therefore chastisest thou them little by little that offend, and warnest them by putting them in remembrance wherein they have offended, that leaving their wickedness they may believe on thee, O Lord.
Damn right. You know what I mean? That leaving our wickedness that we may believe in the Most High. So don't think that there's ever anything without consequence. Don't be like Esau and be willing to solely focus in on the moment and not worry about the consequences of your actions. It may not catch up to you right then and there, right? Don't think about it. Don't think about God like the movies, where as soon as somebody does something that God doesn't like, a lightning comes down and strike them down right where they stand. No, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? It may not happen to you right then and there, but best believe it could come to you in 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, 1 day, 1 week. You never know. You know what I'm saying? It's a small world. It'll catch up to you some way, somehow. You know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're doing what the Lord said for you to do. So that way you can live. Because that's the only option the Lord gave us. Not free will. All right? Any more on that? That was it, right?
Come on, sir.
All right, so let's drop that. Let's dive into the next topic. What will happen when God's people unify? Right? Let's get Zephaniah 2:1. Let's get Zephaniah 2:1.
Got it. You ready, sir?
All right, you got to work.
Right. The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Gather yourselves together, Salakia. Gather together, O nation not desired.
Right. This is talking about us. So-called blacks, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Indians. We are the nation that is not desired. Not desired by who? Not desired by who? Anybody?
Salakia, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, by the world, by these other nations, everybody.
Yeah. These other nations don't desire us. Right? We're not included in their world international meetings. You know what I'm saying? We don't even have a seat in the UN as a nation. When they come together to discuss the world affairs, the black man don't have a seat in those discussions. You know what I mean? You're just a slave. You don't have a say-so of what happens on this earth. Because these nations plot on us to use and abuse us. You know what I mean? We're not desired by them, man. But yet they do desire your music. They desire your fashion, your entertainment. But when it comes to running something, nah, you gone too far, Negro. Slow down. Doing too much. They're gonna put you right in your place and remind you who you really are. And remind you you're just a slave. But the Lord is telling us to hell with them. And let's take all of our resources, all of our great attributes outside of making them prosper and make it exclusively for our nation and our race so we can prosper. All right, it's time for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to unify. All right, because once we unify, there is something that's going to take place on this earth. All right, read on.
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And what is that day? World War III. All right, let me get Joel 3:1. All right, the Lord is waiting for a select few. I don't know if y'all just seen the news recently, but Israel ended up breaking the ceasefire agreement that they had with Palestine last night. And if I'm not mistaken, what I read in the news is that they killed about 200 plus Palestinians. All right, and this ceasefire was going on for quite a few times. Like for some time, it was going on. But the violence has not stopped. You know why? Because the Lord is preparing the earth for World War III. He's preparing this earth for more chaos and more conflict. But he's just waiting on you, black man. Because he's doing it to free you. Right? Whoever got that, you can read.
Con. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem.
The captivity of who?
Judah and Jerusalem.
What does that mean, to bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem? Who want to give that a shot?
Con, sir.
Go ahead.
They're gonna back into slavery.
Not, it says Judah and Jerusalem. That's talking about who? That's talking about Israel, right?
Israel.
Right, Khan. That's talking about Israel. You know what I'm saying? So when it says he's going to bring back the captivity, it's talking about what?
He's gonna bring them together.
Right. You want to elaborate a little bit more. What do you mean bring them together? Because why aren't they together?
Because they've been scattered throughout the earth.
Right, because they're in captivity, right?
Con.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're still currently in captivity till this day. Even though that the chains have been put off us physically, till this day, we're still in captivity. And you know how I know? Right? What makes you think I'll say that? Right? I know, yeah, most people on this live have heard somebody make the argument of, well, slavery was a long time ago. Slavery is over. Let it go. That was the past. Are you a slave today? Are you the ones that got beaten today? What would your response be? What would you say to objectify that?
Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
If you subscribe to reincarnation, then yeah, that was me.
Right. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That's 100% true. All right. But wisdom is too high for a fool. I know you get it, you know what I'm saying? But most people won't get what you're talking about. Right? What is something simple to say for even a child to understand? Black people are still in slavery because of what?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
We're paying taxes to the oppressor.
That's a good one. Paying taxes. That's a good one. Anything else?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Nothing new under the sun.
I know under the sun. What you mean by that?
As in, basically, the same thing. Well, the same thing, kind of not exactly the same thing, not at least not physically, but kind of, the concept of slavery, the same thing that was going on back then is what's going on now.
Okay, okay. Con, y'all both listen, y'all not wrong. Both of y'all is not wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's some great answers. And it's very true. The fact that we paid tribute and the same thing that we're dealing with now is what our ancestors went through, proves that we are a slave, man. You know what I mean? There's also more to it. There's also more to it. The sis said, my response will be that me and everyone around me still suffers from the same curses as those slaves. Right, that's the right answer. It's not wrong, right? I like Officer Shabar answer more so, right? And this is the reason why black people are still slaves today. Yes, we pay taxes to our oppressor, which makes us a slave. Yes, we still live in the conditions as our ancestors, which is very, very true. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing that will make anybody a slave. You ever heard that the saying, knowledge is power? Ever
Con,
heard that saying?
or con.
Right? And the Bible says, for the lack of knowledge, my people are destroyed. All right? Like Big Drew said, because we don't have knowledge of self. The fact that a nigga don't know his identity proves that he's a slave till this day. All right? If, fine, let's say I am not those exact people that suffered the abuse of slavery, right? I'm not the direct, person that was there on that plantation. Fine, fine and dandy. Well, can you at least tell me who we were before slavery? All right. If the reason why I don't have an identity because of slavery, well, tell me what my identity is if I'm a free man, since slavery is over. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Con, sir.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we lost our identity in slavery, right? Because we still don't know our identity, right? We lost our identity because of slavery. And I might not be the direct person that was there, tied up, being whipped, being hung, and picking that cotton. You know what I'm saying? But the least you could do, now that I'm a free man, is tell me, who do I belong to? And the fact that we don't know who we belong to proves that you're still a slave, black man, Hispanic man, indigenous man. You're still a slave. You know what I mean? So the Lord is going to bring back the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He's going to get them out of the four corners of the earth, wherever we're scattered, and give us back what the world stole from us. All right, read on.
Salakia. And I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat.
Mm-hmm.
And I will plead with them there for my people.
And he will do what?
he will plead with them there for his people.
Listen, he's going to go to war. Right? That's what's going on. The valley of Jehoshaphat is in Israel. Right? And Jehoshaphat means decision, the Lord's decision. Right? And the Lord said he's going to gather all nations to battle in the valley of Jehoshaphat in Israel. And there they're going to be put to death. Once he brings again the captivity of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, and start to wake us up to our identity and coming back to his law, statute, commandments, and we start to form as a nation, guess what? The Lord said he's going to bring these other nations to the Middle East and put them to death through warfare. All right, that's what's going to happen when God's people comes together. Everybody expecting for some kumbaya moment, not with God. All right, read on.
Come, sir. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and have sold a girl for wine.
Right. This is what they did to our people. Read on.
That they might drink. Yeah, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, and Zidon, all the coast of Palestine? Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me, swiftly and speedily will I return your recompense upon your own head.
Right. This is what the Lord is getting to bring on this earth. He's saying there is nothing you can pay me back with. No matter what amount you give me or try to do in order to make things right, the Lord is going to bring it back to you. He's going to reject it. Because it's not good enough. You know what I mean? The Lord is going to bring judgment on this earth for the fact that we're scattered. So what we must do is gather ourselves together. Gather ourselves together before this happens. All right, read on.
Come, sir. Because ye have taken my silver and my gold, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians.
Have you sold on to who?
The Grecians.
To the Grecians. Historically, the Grecians or the Greeks are who?
The Greek.
So-called white people. All right, this is a biblical prophecy of us being put in slavery and sold on the auction blocks. This was a biblical prophecy written thousands of years ago before it even happened. And the Lord is saying that once we unify, once we come together, that's going to be their fall. All right, let's drop that. Let me get Revelations chapter 7 and verse 4.
Khan out of Khan. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 7, verse 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Out of all who?
Of all the tribes of the children of Israel.
Right. So who is this seal for? First of all, what is the seal? Right, we got idiots out there that say that the mark of the beast is a damn computer chip. Well, if the mark of the beast is a chip, what is the mark of God? What is the seal of God then? Is that a chip too? Are we going to get programmed to have an AI God implanted on us? What is the seal that's talking about? Anybody? Anybody want to give it a shot? What is this seal? Right? Got an answer. The truth. Damn right, sis. Exactly right. Scriptures say, mark them that sigh and cry for my people. Right? It says, put a seal upon their foreheads. Right? That seal is talking about the truth. Those that have the truth with them. And it's only going to be 144,000 of us. 144,000 of not the whole world, not of everybody coming together, but only the tribes of the children of Israel coming together. Right? Once we unify. Right? Jump me down to verse 9.
After this, I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands.
Now, does this sound like everybody? Who is this talking about? Right? We just read it only said 144,000 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now it's saying kindreds of all tongues and people and nation. Right? What is that talking about?
Salakia,
Go ahead.
all of the Lord's people that scattered all over.
Damn right, like we just read in Joel. Right? We've been scattered. Scattered where? Amongst all nations. And in those nations, we're not speaking our own language. Guess what language we're speaking? We're speaking their language. This is why we speak French, Spanish, English. Right? We speak these languages because these are the languages of our slave masters. And that's what further divides us as a people. We can't understand the concept of unifying because we think we're separated through religion, through language. All right? When really we're our God's chosen people. A black man and a Hispanic man is one race. And the Lord is calling for us to come together, to unify as a people. That's what in doing that, that's when the judgment is going to come through and take place on this earth. Right? Read on.
And cried with a loud voice, saying, salvation to our God, which sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb. And
All
all
right.
the angels.
God, you can drop that. Let me get Psalms 133 and 1.
Concept.
And you can go ahead and read.
This is Psalms 133 and 1. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes Slakia. Lord, my heart is not haughty, nor my eyes lofty.
Is that 133 and 1?
Oh, Salakia, sir.
No, that's all good.
This is, Psalms 130. Salakia. This is Psalms 133 and 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant is it for thy brethren to dwell together in unity.
To dwell together in unity. The Lord is pleased to see blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people unifying and working together to accomplish something on this earth. You know what I mean? The brethren that it's talking about is those that's of the bloodline of the 12 tribes of Israel. Because at the end of it all, that's the only ones that's going to be saved. The Lord is looking to give them salvation, to establish their nation, to give them life. Because everybody is robbing from them. Everybody's trying to separate them and break them apart. Everybody's trying to pin them against one another. You know what I'm saying? Well, the Lord is calling for us to come back together as a nation. Because that's exactly what we are, a nation. Right? You're not your religion. You're not a color. You're not two continents. You are the prince of the power. Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. The nation of Israel. You are the real Jews. Right? Read on.
It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garments.
Right. He's comparing it to how the oil, when somebody gets raised up, gets poured on their head and it drips all the way down to his garment. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the Lord is saying. He's saying it's a beautiful thing to see a brother get raised up in his truth and come back and unify with his nation. All right, drop that. Let me get Ecclesiasticus 25:1. Now we got to breeze through these a little bit. It's short on time. We get Ecclesiasticus 25:1.
Con, sir.
Salaki out the Apocrypha, right, sir?
Khan out the Apocrypha.
Salaki is 25:1.
Khan, you got it, boy.
All right. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25, verse 1. In three things I was beautified and stood up, beautiful both before God and men. The unity of brethren, the love of neighbors.
Of neighbors, man. This is only exclusively, specifically talking about blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people. It's not talking about the unity of your next door neighbor. It's not talking about the unity of all nations. That's not what it's talking about. They are unified. Right? This is why they have their own government. You understand what I'm saying? We are the only people that's scattered, that's left without a government. That's left without borders, our own heritage, culture. The Lord is saying that we need to gather ourselves together. Learn how to treat another black man and a Hispanic man, Native Indian man. Get rid of all the hatred that this white supremacist country taught you. And learn again what it means to be black, what it means to be Hispanic and Native Indian. Right? Read on.
A man and a wife that agreed together.
Mm-hmm. That was
Three
it.
sources. So that was off of verse 1.
Verse 1. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Lord finds beautiful on this earth. When we can agree with each other. A man and a woman agreeing with each other, husband and wife. Right? Because a family, right, a nation consists of a collection of what? A nation is a collection of what?
Salaki, yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Families.
Families. Collection of families. And once we start to unify and work together, I mean, we can help fix this nation. You know what I'm saying? All right, let me drop that. Let me get one more, and we through. Let me get Second Ezra 6:4. No, 6 and 9. 6 and 9. Second Ezra 6 and 9. All right, let's
Yeah,
get that.
so verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
For Esau is the end of the world.
For Esau is what?
Is the end of the world.
Who is Esau?
So-called white man.
Right. That should also tell you something, right? It says, for Esau is the end of the world. Right? Now, when you think of the end of the world, most of the time it's portrayed to be the end of the whole planet Earth. Right? When that is not the case. The Lord is not going to blow up this planet. The scripture says that the earth abideth forever. Well, this earth is always going to be here. The world that it's talking about is the age or society. The Lord is is about to get ready to get rid of the society of Esau, the rulership of Esau. Right? And that should tell you something. Once you start to see Esau and rule, that should let you know that the end is near. You know what I'm saying? And America been established when? 1700s? 1776, right? Is when they so-called got their independence. All right, so this is fairly a young nation. Still young. You know what I'm saying? But each day since their inception been leading up to their downfall. You know what I'm saying? Because them being in power is a sign to show you that the end is near. Right? Read on.
John, sir. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And who?
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
Right. Jacob, which is Israel, which is you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and indigenous people. Once they fall, our empire will be able to unify and rise up. That's how it's done. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is calling for all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come into his house. Come and serve him. Right? Make your election sure. What you don't want to do is get caught in the crossfire. You dig what I'm saying? Like the Lord is getting ready to bring judgment through on this earth. And if we as a people are cleaving onto these other nations, right, you might just mistakenly get hit by the judgment that was meant for them. All right, so what you want to do is separate yourself from these other nations and find your brothers and sisters and unify with them. You want to separate your ways, separate your culture, separate your lifestyle from the ways of this world and these other nations. And build a black nation, unified black, Hispanic, and Native Indian nation. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to rule the earth with it. All right, so with that, any questions, comments, concerns? All right, so with that, man, give it up, give it up, give it up. Big up, man, to the young man Drew, young man Fred, everybody in the chat that was able to tune in. Most High in Christ, man, big yourselves up. Make sure you pay your tithes. April 12th. April 12th, man, is going down Atlanta, Georgia. The Lord Annual 56 Passover. Man, make sure y'all all come through. Don't miss out, man. You know what I'm saying? As long as you black, as long as you Hispanic, as long as you Native Indian, you are welcome in the door. I don't care if you one West, I don't care what the hell you believe in. If your blood is of the blood of Israel, Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham, you are welcome, y'all. So make sure y'all come through, and we're gonna get it rocking like that, y'all. So with that, man, the water, shalom, Israel.
Shalom.